welcome back to RC Workshop. So today we are looking at the Traxxas Maxx truck 4 months after purchase date, guys. I'm going to show you today sort of what I've been through. This truck, by the way, has been through hell. It's been tested in mud, deep water, dirt jumps, skate park jumps. It's had tons of crashes. It's been on its roof more than it has its wheels, but we'll come to that part in a bit. What I'll do, guys, is just run through you what I'm finding with the truck so far. Right then, guys, I do keep all my models in check and clean, so that it does look clean, but it is a bit worn out, guys. This body shell, let's start off with the body shell anyway, has took an absolute beating. There is a lot of creases in places. There is a split. There's a couple of splits, actually, which is around the arches. The main one was on the back. I've just had to crudely trim that apart and put some staples in it because I didn't want to trim it all the way up. I would actually recommend, to be honest with you guys, trimming the bumper that high from the beginning so you don't split the bumper. Basically, if you come down hard, this shell pushes onto the back bumper and it splits in absolute no time. So what I would recommend is, and if I'm going to buy another new shell, I will actually cut this up that high from the beginning. I have got to do it a lot neater. I was literally out on the trails and I was like, I've had enough of this braking now. So I literally cut along it. Then when I got home and cleaned it, I just put some staples in there just to hold them two pieces of plastic together, stop that split going any further. Like I say, this body shell does take an absolute beasting. Thank God they put these protection bars on the top. Like I say, this is on its back a lot of the time, guys. Fold that up to the light, you can see a lot of the paint's missing and everything else. But apart from that, you know what? This shell has held up pretty well to an absolute beating. Talking actually about being on its back a lot, I've got to get the wide body kit, the wide kit for this that actually sends these wheels outwards. It's going to need it, guys. Another definite straight away purchase if you don't want to batter your shell as much as I have. Right, let's turn this car upside down, have a look at the bottom. Again, after a lot of abuse, this thing has held up really well. I haven't actually had to change any of the arms, drive shaft, hubs, or anything like that. And like I say, this has been sent hard. My friend did break a C-hub, but that did actually go into a tree, full whack off a jump. So that serves you right. Go check out his channel, guys, DP488. The link will be in the description below. Like I say, chassis has held up really well. It has got that slap going on the back, you know, when the bottom slams down on the floor because of the shock setup. I really can't be arsed changing it, guys. I'm happy with the way it performs, but to be honest, it's a monster truck basher, not a tuned racer. Yeah, right, onto electrics. Electrics, this is different for me. You guys won't have the issue I've had with this. But the fan has gone out of here. All the fins have smashed off the fan through slapping the back end down. That was on a skate park, guys, but you take these to a skate park, you're going to expect it to break. The speed control has held up really well. Really happy with the way that's performing. Great through water and mud and everything else. It's took an absolute beating. Speed control's held up fine. Motor, here we go. I had to send that motor off to Traxxas to be replaced. They didn't actually replace it, they just replaced the bearings. I've never actually had a motor go. I maintain all my cars. When it comes home, it's dried down, washed, dried, completely greased. Water displacement oil sprayed in all the bearings and all the hard to reach places. Never had a motor go before. This motor did go though, guys. The bearings went on it. But Traxxas being Traxxas still replaced the bearings and sent me the motor back. It just meant that I had a month off playtime. A whole month. The fan in there, I'm not replacing, to be honest with you. Don't think I need it at the minute. Let's say speed control really good. I'm pairing that speed control off of these when I go out. This is a Volts 4000 mAh LiPo 4S 30C pack. You can get bigger packs, guys. This is quite tame, to be honest. It's probably the reason I'm not actually braking the truck. Still goes very fast. Loads of torque. Nothing wrong with them at all, guys. And you get plenty of playtime out of two of those. Let's fire this puppy up. So controls on. One push button set. Look at that. Still got two LEDs running on the front. Lost the two side ones. And on the back, we've got three and lost one side one. Them LEDs are an aftermarket thing I put on. Cheap as chips as well. Easy little mod. I think it cost something like £10 for all instead of the £100 Traxxas want for theirs. It's held up for 2 months now, guys. Doing well. Electrics, again, back to electrics. Waterproof truck. Well, let's call it water resistant, but everything is holding up to waterproof. This thing has been completely submerged. Servo's still nice and dry and works really well and quiet. Speed control stays dry, works really well. Motor, obviously the bearings failed. That might have been for the water damage, I don't know. But never had it go before, never stopped taking my cars through water because water and RC is a lot of fun. So, aside from the motor braking, the only other breakage I've actually had is one of the wheels, the tyres, actually exploded. Luckily, it was a neat explosion. I can't even figure out which one it is anymore. But what I've done is got home, cleaned it all up, and glued it together with a really strong super glue. You can't even see the seam where it broke. Actually, is it this wheel? I'm just trying to find it for you guys. It was literally about a 2-inch split. No, I'm sure it was this wheel. But if you clean it up quick, while the split's all nice and neat still, run a seam of super glue down it, it literally stitches itself together in seconds, guys. And that has seemed to hold up really well. What I did do as well is I did put a small hole there, drilled a little hole into the tyre itself, so that if you do get water in the tyres, the water does come out. Believe me, it works. It's a strange thing, drilling brand new tyres, but you need to do that if you don't want water inside your tyres. What can I say, guys? This truck is an absolute beast. I'm really pleased with it. It's heading to be one of my favourite trucks. My favourite truck was the HPI Savage. Then the Traxxas Summit was my second favourite. Then the E-Max, when I got the brushless edition E-Max. Slash is always way up there as well with total bashability. But I tell you what, guys, this is easily coming into being my #1 truck. Really enjoying it, guys. Holding up really, really well. Have it, guys. 4 months on, and this thing is heading to be my #1 truck. As long as you look after them, they'll look after you. Always bring your truck home after wrecking it, after dirtying it. Clean it, strip it down, grease it all up, put it back together. Ready for the next time you take it out. It should look after you. Anyway, check out my other videos here and here of this truck in action. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!